Allow me to welcome you once again to episode 10 of our Take 5 series, season 3, brought to you by the Chisipite Seventh-day Adventist Church, in particular the Women's Ministries Department. My name is Busi. We continue exploring through the life of David how we can deal with the difficult times that we will go through, those times when we experience family conflict and when we are really at a loss as to how best we can continue doing life with our family members. Our focus for today is a chapter in David's life where his trusted allies, those people that had been fighting thick battles with him, the people that had seen him through all the period that Saul was chasing him, now turned against him. This lesson is going to be taken from 1 Samuel chapter 30, and our focus is going to be on verse 6. What had happened? David, whilst he had gone on yet another one of his exploits with his band of men, returns to Ziklag, the city that they were living in at that time, to find that the city had been burnt down. The Amalekites had attacked the city, and they had burnt the city and taken all their wives and children and everything that belonged to them, taken all that away with them. So they return with his men to ashes. And the Bible tells us that all the men were so dejected. David's wives, his two wives, and his own children had also been taken captive. And as the men are weeping, as they are perplexed about what has happened, the Bible tells us that his trusted allies, his band of mighty men of valor, turned and decided to stone David. They, in other words, were now blaming David for what had happened. But I like verse 6 because it says, in his distress, when all his friends had turned against him, David strengthened himself in the Lord, and he sought encouragement from God. What have you done when those times have come your way, where your closest relatives that you have gone through a lot with, suddenly turn against you, and they start blaming you for whatever misfortune has befallen the entire family, and yet you yourself are a victim of that circumstance too? There is a song that I love that is sung by a group, Shower Power. I think it's one of the latest singles that they have produced. And in Shona, it's a Shona song which speaks about what do you do when close family, when friends have left you, when you have no human comfort at all. Where do you turn? And the song continues to say that the Lord, you Lord, are my strength, and you are my source of comfort. So what we are saying today is that those times when they come, where you are now left alone, where you have no earthly comfort, where do you turn to? We know, for example, that some of us, because of COVID-19, we have lost our source of livelihood. We have lost jobs. We have lost family. Where do you turn to? And sometimes we've heard of experiences where a family member has maybe been very successful in investing, and siblings and even parents then give money to that family member and say, invest for us as well. And for a while they continue to reap the benefits of that person's acumen. They see the financial success, and then one day misfortune strikes and all that money is lost. These family members also incurs loss, and yet we often find that the family now turns against that individual, and they start saying, yeah, we should have known that you were up to no good, you were after our hurt. And yet they forget that this person has also suffered loss. So the question is, what can we learn from David's experience? How do we handle such times in our lives? The first lesson that I would like to speak to is that let's realize that losses will come in life. And that those with whom we have experienced great victories may turn out to be completely different persons when they experience loss. Don't get to a point where you are so dejected by the different side of an ally that you see during times of loss. Realize that adversity has a way of bringing out the worst in even the best of human beings. The second lesson that I would like us to look at is that what do you do when you are experiencing pain and deep loss? And the lesson from this experience for me is that be very careful when you are experiencing trauma and deep pain, that you do not project your pain on the next person who is also going through the same, and you start accusing them of being the cause for your pain. Let us exercise empathy towards the other when we are going through moments of loss and moments of deep trauma. The third and final lesson for today is that much as we may be distressed, much as we may feel alone, let us move our focus towards God. God is a constant friend who sticks closer even than a brother. So when you find that the very people that you trusted with your life have turned away from you, never lose sight of the fact that God draws closer to the faint-hearted and to the weary. Turn to Him. Encourage yourself in the Lord, just like King David did. Lift up your eyes to the hills, and your help will certainly come from the Lord. And you can then realize that, in actual fact, God is all that you need during those times. And He will do for you what no human being could ever do for you. He will bring you the strength. He will bring you the courage to get up, look up, rally those very same people that were ready to stone you around you, and go out there and do battle and continue doing life. I want to speak today to someone who is suffering loss as a result of misfortune. It could be financial loss, it could even be loss of a loved one or family. And the whole world, it may seem as though the whole world has turned against you. What I want to say to you is, don't consider suicide. Don't allow depression to set in, but instead, strengthen yourself in the Lord. The Lord knows what you are going through, and He stands ready that when you call, He will draw nigh to you, and He will be your strength.
Take 5 is a show produced by the Ncube Church, a fountain of love, and is made possible by support from many partners. If you wish to follow more of our studies on these and many other subjects, please connect with us on the Ncube SDA Church on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Like our platforms and share with us your comments. We also have our plug-in team ready to pray with you and encourage you through life's challenges. So please connect with us and would love to pray with you. We can't wait to hear from you. And remember, when life seems to drown you, just take a moment, take a break, and take 5 to reflect.
May the Lord bless us, and may He continue to guide us as we navigate these very difficult times.